Alright guys, we'll start off by asking you guys a question. How do you feel about religious freedom from government? Many people, if you ask that question, I'm assuming many people that are in this class are going to agree that the government should more or less stay out of your business when it comes to religious freedom. I'm the same way. Is there a difference between family-owned corporations or family business, whether it be a small mom and pop, 1 or 2 people, to a large corporation that run their business based off religious beliefs, Christian beliefs, whether it be Christian, it could be any type of religious beliefs, but that business is set up under those general belief systems. Should they also have religious freedom from government? Ask yourself that question. Many people feel very strongly about individual freedom. Should it be the same for corporations? Along with that, I'd like you to have just in the back of your mind abortion and the fact how government makes decisions based off whether abortion is legal or illegal, what types of or forms. And then while you're doing that, ask yourself, how does abortion tie into your belief system? Now, many people in this class may have a plethora of different types of religious beliefs, but with that, many people are going to have an opinion, whether it be based off religion, whether it be just personal opinion on abortion. Keep that in the back of your mind as well. What I'm going to discuss with you guys, and the issue that this speech is over, is the Hobby Lobby case against the government, or Hobby Lobby versus Burwell. Hobby Lobby has a Christian belief basis for their family-owned, family-run corporation. And in this belief system, they felt like they were being attacked by the government and forced to do something that was against their religious beliefs. Or in essence, the government was trying to take away their religious freedom. So, what are the grounds for this legal action? What does it mean for you and me? What does it mean for the government? What does it mean for Hobby Lobby? The legal grounds for this court case was actually based off of the Religious Freedom Restoration Act of 1993. This is what Hobby Lobby based the majority of their case on. And in this act, it actually states, or restricts rather, that the government cannot substantially burden a person's exercise of religion. It does state that the government can affect their religion as minimal as possible, but not significantly burden that person's exercise of religion. So using this, Hobby Lobby had issues with certain types of contraceptives that the Affordable Care Act mandated that they cover. Hobby Lobby said, well, we have no problem with all contraceptives. We have problem with certain ones. And these certain ones, in their eyes and in their opinion, was a type of abortion. It just completely went against their religious beliefs. So these types were the IUDs, the day after pill, as most people would know it, items like that. So they didn't refuse completely to cover all the required contraceptives that the Affordable Care Act said that they should. They refused to cover certain ones because they say it burdened their religious belief system. So obviously, Hobby Lobby went to court and went all the way to the Supreme Court. And ultimately they won 5-4 at the Supreme Court. So with that win, what does that really mean? A lot of people say, yay, you stood against government and you won. I've heard many people say, well, I don't believe in the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare, as most people know it. So good for you. You fought them and you won. Well, there's actually a lot more underlying to it than that. The Affordable Care Act was stood up against, and they did win. They did win based off religious freedom. So what does that really mean? What does that mean for the Affordable Care Act? What does that mean for Hobby Lobby and everybody else? Well, for the government, it's a huge blow. Because, first off, if Hobby Lobby would have refused, the Supreme Court would have said, okay, you have to do it, and the Hobby Lobby would have continued to refuse. It was an estimated $475 million in noncompliance fines for Hobby Lobby if they would have refused, because they would not have met those minimum requirements by the Affordable Care Act. Excuse me. For other corporations, what does that mean? What does this win mean? Well, it actually means that, in essence, they can take this and they can refuse to cover other parts of the Affordable Care Act. They can refuse to cover a plethora of items or do a plethora of things based off of religious freedom. So, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for me? Well, directly, the employees of Hobby Lobby. Women, certain women, who may possibly want these contraceptives, or just let's just say women in general who work for these family-run corporations or any corporation that is going to look at this and say, okay, well, we can refuse this, we can refuse this, we can do this, we can do that, based off religious freedom. That directly affects you. That directly affects me. If we work for these companies and these companies refuse to provide this certain contraceptive that you may need or may want. So it trickles down. It affects everybody. In essence, it could affect everybody. But the ultimate underlying meaning of this entire thing is it actually opens doors. It opens doors for other corporations to refuse whatever their mind can think up and justify off of a religious belief. And that's why it was such a closely watched issue. Not necessarily because it was a win against government, but because of the doors that it possibly will open up in the future for other corporations to argue issues based off of religion. So it may seem like a small decision, it may seem like a big win, but this is just the beginning. This is going to allow many, many, many other issues to be brought forth in the same light. So I hope you learned something. I hope you take away from this what I have. I wish I could ask questions, but I can't. Thanks for watching.